Welcome to Welcome to 3-week workshop on programming in C++. In this video, I'm going to explain the concept of overloading of bitwise operators. As we know that the operators overloading support the concept of applying the concept of operators directly for the object instead of the every data member in the class. So the syntax for defining an operator overloading method is that is a return type, then followed by the keyword operator. Then we have to define the operator symbol. Then we are going to define the argument if it is necessary. Then we have to define the logic of the function. So we know that there are two possible ways the functions can be implemented. Means that operator overloading can be implemented by either by using operator overloading or sorry, by using a member function or maybe by using a friend function. And for the number of argument is already aware about that. So here I'm going to explain with a simple example to show the difference, the concept of operator overloading for a bitwise operators. Okay, so just I'm going to just to take a one simple program. So here we know that there are different bitwise operators we have. So that please try to understand that if you want to apply the bitwise operator, the operator means always the data type of that operand must be an integer. For the remaining category, it won't apply. So that you must to have an idea about that. Without that, you can't unable to for the remaining data type, you can't able to apply the concept of bitwise operator. So that you must to have a clear idea about that before try to understand before to apply. Try to understand that. So here I'm going to implement the concept of operator overlaying for the bitwise operators. I'm going to define only the integer. So you know so the initialization. So that initialization, I'm going to define an initialization by using constructor. Also, you know, going to use the same name for improve the readability for the local variable and as well as instance variable. For the differentiation, I can use this pointer, and there is a one method I can use to display the value of my variables. So now it's okay. So now it is displayed. So I'm going to close the class definition, and by creating an object, just I'm going to test it whether it is work it or not. Sorry, the object name. So I'm going to create another one more object. So now I'm going to apply that b1 dot show. Just I'm going to display what is the value in both, just only for understanding purpose. Now I'm going to compile. Errors. Yeah, problem in it has directive. So no error. So I'm going to run it so that it will display as a 10 and a 20. So what I need to do is I'm trying to apply the concept of bitwise operators for this B1 and B2. So we know that there are different type of bitwise operators are there. So the bitwise operators are like bitwise and bitwise or bitwise XOR, then ones complement, then right shift, left shift. So these are the different type of bitwise operators supported by the programming language. So here I am trying to apply the concept of bitwise, and so B1 and B2 I'm trying to apply. Then I'm going to compile. So illegal structure operation, you know that if it is a illegal structure operation, so maybe it is a user-defined data type. So that I am going to apply the concept of a member function for implementation of concept. So operator. So then I'm going to use the symbol as ampersand, and it is a binary operator. So that it is a member function logic. So that we have one parameter we need to implement. If you are go with the concept of that is, if you go with the concept of member function implementation, and we know that the equivalent conversion method is so b1 dot the ampersand is a function name, and b2 will be passed as argument. So here b1 is a current object. So just I'm going to apply that the bitwise operator, so that my object name equal to a. So the b1 is a bitwise or current object. So I'm going to apply the concept of bitwise operator for the data member. So just to try to apply the bitwise operator for the recorded data members according to your convenience. So now I'm going to display the value of a B1. No error. And now I'm going to display it. So it is a 0. So first of all, you should know why it is a 0 and all. So you know that the value of 10 is, it is a 16-digit number, so that I don't want to define as a 16-digit number. Just for understanding, just I'm going to say it is for 5-digit number. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. And for it is a 20, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. Now you have to perform AND operation so that it is answer is 0. So from that we can easily to understand. So that it means so here I mean the result will be updated on the current object itself. If I don't want to return like this, I don't want to update on the same variable. If you want, you can do like this. So that you can just easy to difference that b2 dot show. Sorry, it is a b3 dot show. Okay, so in this case, so that I don't want the current object, so that I'm going to create a one temporary variable, temporary object. But we need a we need a default constructor. So it is a current object, no problem, but it will be stored on a temporary object, and that value must be returned because just to see that below statement. So it is expected to return, so that it will be written like this. So b3 equal to, so that before function call there is a equal operator is there, so that the function surely must return a value. So the return value must be in the form of object. So that if it is an object as a return argument, then the class name, the corresponding the class name must be a object. I mean, so the object, the class name of that object must be a data type. It's a return type, so that it will be represented. Now I'm going to compile. Yeah, sure. Surely I told that there is a default constructor is there. So if you want, you can go with the default constructor. Otherwise, you can fill with the 0. That is on your convenient. Now there is no problem. And for the third one, it is 0. So in case if you want to apply the concept of OR operator, here it's just I can make a change. So here I can change as OR operator. So no issue. Then I'm going to run it. So it is a 0. So this is for OR operator. Here I didn't change the operators. So now you can compile. So it must be at 24. Sorry, just a minute, I can check the data. Yeah, 1010. So that, yeah, it is 30. This is 16, 8, 24, 28, 30. Okay, so this is the answer for our operation. So the answer is 30. Okay, for XOR operation, same answer. For XOR operation, also the same one. So for XOR operation, so I'm going to apply the XOR operation. No error. It is placed at 30. And for ones complement, it is a unary operator. So you can apply the console unary operator case for to work on this. And for even you can work like this. B1 less than B2. So that here we can apply shifting. So that now it will be means that so from this we can easily say that this right shift operators and left shift operator is not overloaded. Just sorry. Yeah, a small correction. I forgot to change that, so that only shows an error message. Now you can compile. No error. Sorry, please to make a correction so that it will support this right shift and left shift also. I did a mistake. So it surely it is a 0 because the size of your B2 was 20. So if it is a 2, surely this closer the answer is 2. For B3 answer is 2. If you want, you can apply the consider bitwise operator for this case. Because the value of B1 is at 10, so that 1010, so you have to remove 20, so that the answer is 2. But it is a let's say. So I'm going to, so here I need to change. So for a let's say there are 2 zeros will be added, so that it is a 40. 32 plus 8, so that it is 40. So like that, we need to apply the concept of bitwise operators, either in the form of a friend function or a member function. So this is the way we have to implement the concept of bitwise operators. So only thing, and another important thing, if you are trying to declare the variable as other data type, for example, we know that it's not suitable for other data type. So that, for example, if I'm going to define float, I'm going to compile illegal use of a floating point. So for the floating point operation, that bitwise operator is not applicable. So that you have to use only for integers. Means we can apply for character. That's not a problem. Means you know that the character is a whole number representation, but you can check it. Not right about that. Okay, there is no issue. So it will work. So no issue on that. So it will work as usual, but actually the character, so that ASCII value represent the 10 2 and all, it's ASCII value representation, so that it will display the character value on that. So this is the way we have to implement the concept of binary operator bitwise operator overloading in C++. Thank you.